Welcome to Too Old and Too Slow from a windy and wet Donington. Today is qualifying. We came here on Thursday and did some testing. The weather was a lot better then. 2 good sessions, a few problems with the car, but I managed to get them sorted. And now I'm getting everything set up for wet qualifying. Formed up on the dummy grid on the Melbourne Loop. As you can see, it's very wet indeed. I've never driven the car in conditions like this before, so it's going to be a learning process, especially for the first few laps. So the plan is to take it easy, just feel where the grip is and try and find my way around the track safely for 3 laps, and then after that see if I can increase the pace. I'm amazed with the lack of visibility. The spray from the cars in front is making the conditions even worse. I'm going to let the cars get away in front because I want to try and spot where the standing water is so I can avoid aquaplaning and ending up in the gravel. So the first few laps are going to be nice and steady and try and get comfortable in these terrible conditions. Feeling mega uncomfortable. I have no idea about the level of grip I have, and I'm just going to be super cautious. Quickly look in the mirrors, I can see some cars coming alongside me, going to let them through. The last thing I want to do is leave the circuit and particularly take somebody else out with me. Right here you can see where my inexperience really shows. I'm slowing the car way too early. There's a lot more grip out there than I think. I can slow the car later, I can keep the speed on longer, and the car will turn in just fine. It's just trying to find a balance so I can get the laps done and qualify, and also slowly increase the speed, and so I can get a good qualifying lap in. It's still really, really wet, but I'm starting to feel a little more comfortable. I'm starting to enhance the feeling I get of where the grip is and how the car feels in the wet. So now's the time to push on and try and get a bit of a lap time in. I know I'm not going to be that fast, but I can definitely improve what I've done so far. But alas, on the left hand side you can see one of the competitors' cars, and that means that the safety car is going to come out and we're going to spend a few laps sitting behind the safety car. Well, that's qualifying, an absolute disaster. The car was faster than I drove it. I was trapped behind some slower cars, and then there was a yellow flag followed by a safety car. So I'm qualified second to last. Lots of other people are out of place on the grid. So there's an opportunity for me to make up some places tomorrow. Hopefully have a bit of a race on the way through the field as best I can. So tomorrow's another day, car's packed up, time to head back to the hotel. This is not the video I wanted to put in here. Unfortunately I had another camera failure on race 1 and there's no footage at all. However, I started on the back row in 26th position and finished 17th. So I'm right in the middle of the grid for the second race. Really enjoyed the first race. There were a few DNFs which helped me progress, but also I should put a few good moves together and overtake a few people. So I'm in a really strong place for the second race. Well, that wasn't the start I was looking for. I just can't seem to get myself comfortable. The gear shift feels wrong. Something's wrong with the gearbox. People seem to be driving past me like I'm standing still. This is not going the way the first race went. But it's a long race, and if I keep it cool, I can probably pick up a few places as the field settles and I get myself back into my rhythm. Going up the hill towards McLean's, I slow the car and go for third. Third just isn't there, so I realise I've got a problem. Stick it in fourth. Fourth still works, so it looks like I'm just going to have to continue the race using fourth gear. This is really frustrating because I think I could do well in this race, and as you can see, people are just driving away from me now because I've just got no performance at all because the gears aren't set up right. Up ahead I spot a car. That'd be quite nice if I can chase them down a little bit, but as ever, really poor performance, stuck in fourth gear. The car just doesn't corner as quick as it should, but I'm chasing this guy down as we run down through the Craner curves and towards the old hairpin. I'm making ground on him. I like to think that I stuck a move on him, but as you can see, it gives me tons of room. And after the race, talking to him, I realised that he thought I was one of the leaders about to lap, so that's why he let me through. And here I am plodding around still in fourth gear. Look in my mirrors, I can see the leaders approach. Let the leader through, and then boom. As you can see, there's an accident in front of me. I contemplate stopping, but I think everybody's going to be okay, so I just continue. Let the now leader through and just see what happens. I'm just very aware of the rest of the pack catching me up, and I want to let them through without hindering them or spoiling their race at all. So that's how the race finished behind the safety car. No one wants to finish a race that way, but unfortunately these things happen in racing. Thankfully the two drivers involved in the unfortunate accident weren't badly hurt, and I'm sure the cars will be back on track before too long. I did find out what the problem was with my gearbox. After the race I quickly stripped down the back of the gearbox and I found the castle nut that holds the lay shaft in place had somehow come undone. It ripped the split pin in half and was rattling around in the back of the gearbox. Thankfully no damage was done. I reinstalled everything, checked everything, torqued it up to spec, and the car was moving just fine under its own steam. after the weekend at Donington, I've been a little concerned about the engine, and I took the car to a local race engineer and he had a quick look. The car was generating a lot of pressure in the parts of the engine which shouldn't have pressure, and it was blowing a lot of oil from the system into the catch can, typically filling the catch can in 15 minutes. So something was seriously wrong. I've had to make a decision that I won't be racing at Thruxton. I have to preserve the engine. So the engine's being removed, it's on a pallet, and it'll be going up to an engine rebuilder who will strip it down, have a look, make the repairs necessary, and keep the engine in top working order for the rest of the season. It's going to be a pain that I won't be racing at Thruxton, but I'll be watching anyway, and I'll be helping the rest of the drivers out as best I can. So, thank you for watching Too Old and Too Slow. Donington wasn't the weekend I was hoping it would be. In parts it was a washout. However, race 1 was fantastic fun. So, the engine's out, it's going to be rebuilt, and I'll be back with a fresh engine in time for Croft. Unfortunately, I won't be attending Snetterton due to family commitments. So it's a few months off away from racing. However, I think I may do a sprint race at my local track at Goodwood with my daughter in August. Just remember, I've got t-shirts available. If you want a t-shirt, please check them out. The link to eBay is in the description below. So, once again, thank you for watching Too Old and Too Slow.